Hey guys, it's Emma here. I have a project complete video for you. So if you've seen my last couple of videos, I have been doing a Frozen 2 inspired scarf. It's taken me a lot longer than I thought. One, because it's quite not a complicated pattern, but you have to really pay attention. And I've been starting some new shows and things recently in the new year, and I've been needing to pay attention to them, so I can't be knitting this pattern at the same time. And I wasn't feeling great this last couple of weeks, so it's been taking me a while basically, but I'm finally here. I finally had time to film this project complete video, so here we go. Here is my Frozen 2 scarf. So, as I'd mentioned before, I'd seen Frozen 2 when it came out. I wasn't a massive fan of it, I'll be honest, but the songs over the next couple of weeks just got stuck in my head over and over. Probably didn't help that I played them a lot over and over as well. But I really wanted to make some kind of Frozen 2 inspired scarf because the colours just in that movie just really were gorgeous. The autumny kind of colours, but also the winter still, and gorgeous. The colour palette in that movie is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to need to watch it again when I finally get Disney Plus over in the UK. But until then, I'm really excited to kind of wear this scarf in the colours of the movie. So I just picked, I can make different ones I think down the line, different variations, different colours, but I just picked the blue and purple for just now, and I wanted to pick a different design, another one I haven't done before, so I picked this diagonal rib stitch, which you can see here. And if you check out my previous videos, the link to that will be, how to do that will be in one of those, and I think it'll be the progress video, because I hadn't decided what stitch I was going to do when I filmed the new project video. So yeah, this is the diagonal rib stitch, and what I like about it is, well, one, it's diagonal, so just it's slightly different from the normal rib stitch, which is just up and down, and also it is double-sided, and as I mentioned in the last video, it's not as obvious the changing of the colours in this one, unless you really go in and kind of pull it apart a bit. But just sitting looking at it here, it's not really noticeable. So as I say, I really do like these reversible patterns. So it's the same on both sides, and also it's not as obvious when you change colour, as in some patterns it is really obvious when you change the colour, and I don't think it looks great. But the problem I think I've also mentioned with this scarf is that I wasn't looking at the wool when I bought it. So lesson for the future: buy similar types if you're going to make a scarf with both types of wool. So basically what I'd done was I had bought two in a shop that I just thought were nice colours. Just grabbed them, just grabbed a couple of balls of each, I think. And it wasn't until I got home that I realised that one, the purple one, is actually like more proper wool, and the blue one is a thinner, kind of softer acrylic type material, which is what I would normally use, because wool is just a bit too rough for me. I'm not a big fan of it. It's a bit, it's just a bit too scratchy. So I do like the softer acrylic stuff, but because I have these two different types in this design, you'll kind of see here maybe that, so this, the purple, the wool, is quite thick, and it's a lot wider, and then it just kind of narrows down into the blue, which is an interesting design choice. I'm just gonna say that and leave it at that, and not that it was a massive mistake. So it kind of goes out and in and then back out again, and we'll just leave it at that and say that it was meant to happen that way. But yeah, that's something to learn. So the other thing is, I haven't 100% finished this off yet. I've just got a couple more bits at the end to weave in. So just, obviously the blue into this side and the purple into this side. I just wanted to say a couple of things about that. Tips that I've picked up that I don't think I've mentioned in my last few videos, but if you have been watching the videos, it was around about the time probably that I was doing the Christmas scarves that I picked up this better way of weaving in your ends. And this isn't that I found this, someone said it, this is just, yeah, it made more sense to me. That I was obviously doing it wrong. So basically, see if I can tilt this down and you can see. So basically you've got your thread here, and you're wanting to weave them in. So what I've been doing is, when I'm finished moving on to the next colour and I've done a row in the new colour, obviously you've got your two kind of bits hanging off here, I will cut the old one obviously and carry on with the new one. And what I'm doing just to make them secure while I'm continue on down the work is I will just tie them together. I'll just do a knot. So when I'm coming to stitch them back into the scarf, what I'll do is I will just untie that knot. It's just I don't want them to kind of like get loose before I'm ready to stitch them back in again. So what I do is I just get a tiny needle, if I can find it in my little box of tricks. Just get a little needle here and thread in, let's just start with the blue. There we go. And basically what I was doing before, and as I say, I think I just stopped doing this when I got to the Christmas scarves I was doing, is basically I would just take this and then just thread it completely through in a oneer and then just pull it through, which is obviously not a good idea because it was like stretching the work way too much. So what I do now is I will just basically like I'm sewing it in. So instead of taking the whole thing, weaving it in and out and in and out and then pulling it all through in a oneer, I'll just literally sew it in. So see if you can see this. So I'll just do a bit at a time basically. So one in there and then you're just weaving it in and out in one bit, and then that means you're not stretching your work as much. And it's not as noticeable that you've been doing anything up the side of your piece of work. Most people probably know this already, and it was just me being lazy and just trying to get this done quickly. But I just thought I would mention it and kind of just show you guys me finishing it off. Just in case you were like me and weren't doing it this way before, I have found it really helpful, especially with this this blue here, because it is very thin, and the stitch pattern means that some of the end of your work is quite hard to get in and out, and there are lots of kind of long bits and holes in it and stuff. So like if you did that, it would just totally kind of tear it apart. Stretch it out way too much, and then you would see these big holes at the size of your work. So I just found that this is much better. Just sew it in as you go, and then when you're just about at the end there, you would just pull that off. So you've got the little bit of thread at the end, and then just give it a snip with some scissors, give it a little tug, and it kind of just disappears into the work there. So that is that bit done. Okay, so I'll quickly do that with the purple as well. I do have the tail on the end, but I'll just do that later. But I'll thread the purple. The other thing I've found is obviously I want a small needle so that it's going through the work easier, because I was using a larger needle as well at first, and that was obviously when I was pulling it through the scarf, it was stretching the kind of like the stitches because I'm trying to fit this big fat needle through. So what I have now is this smaller needle, but then the problem comes in that it's hard to thread the wool onto the end because there's such a small eye in the needle. So you do get, and I have seen these in videos, like tools to help you thread your needle with your wool or your thread or whatever you're needing to stick in your needle, but I haven't got one. I might pick one up sometime down the line, but at the moment I'm just about managing. It just is a bit tricky sometimes to get it threaded, but I do get there in the end. Right, so we're just about at the end now. Just go in one more time, pull it off the needle, snip, and just give it a little tug, and there you go. So that is that bit threaded in, and we've just got this little tail in the end, which I will do, as I said, later. But now it's sometimes you give it a little tug and it might still pop out again somewhere here, and you would just, you know, give it a bit of a tug. If it's not going anymore, just give it a little snip, tug, and that's how I do it, and just kind of yank, tug, snip, just until it kind of fully goes in. You might just find, like, here we go, there's the bit again here, it's not completely gone in. So as I say, give it a tug, and maybe just a tiny snip, but obviously be careful with this, because if you snip it too much, then it's just going to go all the way back to the start, and you're going to have nothing left to thread in. So you wouldn't want to, you know, take it too far back here, because you're just going to keep snipping, tugging until you're like, oh, I've got nothing left to thread back into my work. So careful, but you know, just kind of do it to eye, and it's still sticking out a bit, but just tug it in. There we go, that's it, pretty much gone. So there we go. Hi again. So that is that bit done. I'll do this bit later, but yes, this is my Frozen 2 inspired, basically Anna and Elsa scarf, and there you go. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like if you like this video, subscribe if you're interested, pass it on to anyone else who's interested, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!